Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Devoted. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Ennis. And today's topic is, are we recreating our image through social media and music?
I think this is a really good topic because I feel like social media has definitely dictated how we're supposed to look, act, dress, how much money we're supposed to have. Even the music has just imparted our spirit to make us understand how we're supposed to act mentally through music. And I'm a big believer that the music you listen to, if you listen to it long enough, then it get deep down in your spirit and it's definitely going to start pushing out what God has imparted into you. I always think about the Bible and how it says God created us in his image and likeness. So God already set the standard of our worth, of our value, because if God created me, then I must be the most beautiful, perfect version of myself. But once we start adding in social media and music, I feel that's where it gets tainted, where my perception of how God created me gets tainted because I'm now allowing the world to tell me how I'm supposed to be.
I definitely think for me, in my opinion, I really do feel like it's a struggle. I think that people have run into making certain decisions and regretted it. Dealing with the consequences, I think that people are not realizing um, the causes and what people are, the perspectives that other people are seeing or how they're viewing them. I think they pretty much are distracted. It's
Like, even like now, like us shooting, it's going to be some people who see this and be like, why do they look like that? Why aren't they all put together? Like, even I was thinking on my, because I just got from a workout class. I'm like, oh man, like I don't have my makeup on, I don't have my hair done. It's like, but I'm coming to talk about Jesus. So why not
right.
be authentically me? And like that is a prime example of how the world has put us that we need to be all put together and fancy. And even when we go to church, everybody needs to be dressed up to the nines when you go to church. Sometimes I don't need to be dressed up to the nines. Sometimes I need to go in my pajamas so I can be on the altar. That's what I need to do. But the world is so skewed. And it's like, how
Yeah.
do we navigate a world like this? Like, how do we continue to use social media and digital technology because we know that's going to be forever in our lives, but how do we make that balance?
I think for me that people are so stuck, like when you brought up about church, I think people are so stuck in the traditional ways and what they're used to seeing. And then with the podcast that we see, people like, well, they ain't B Simone, they ain't, this
Yeah.
is us. This is the image that we want to create. This is the image that we want people to be encouraged by, and not everything else and what we're seeing on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. This is us. This is definitely us. And when you mentioned about allowing it to dictate what our image is, I can be honest, I think that I have done it plenty of times, wanting my hair to be a certain way, wanting it to be straight, wanting it to be as neat and laid, all this kind of stuff, and not allowing myself to embrace for who I am, just being me, you know. And I would love to share a story. It's kind of embarrassing, but like we said, be transparent. We want people to see that, oh, I can definitely relate to her. And so pretty much, for me, I wanted to have wigs and stuff and be influenced by different people I see on Instagram. You see that you don't see the lace at all. You can do the different colors, all the different kind of styles and stuff. I was like, oh, I think I'm getting ready to try that. And not understanding like the maintenance of and all this kind of stuff. So I went ahead and did it, rushed, and I'm not bashing the hairstylist that I went to. I would never do that. I pretty much had to use my own products, but she did it for me. And so I got the wig, and I started to feel like this weird feeling, like I could not describe it. It was just like I kept itching, I was in pain, I was having all these headaches and stuff. And then I was like, 2 days later, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this because something is just not right. So I removed my wig, and I immediately had a panic attack because I looked, my forehead was like totally dark,
Oh
and it was like,
no.
yes, and then it was like little small bumps, and I was panicking, I was crying, and I immediately called my dermatologist, and she said, well, I want you to come in. So I came in, and she tells me, girl, you pretty much had an allergic reaction. And I was like, are you serious? And I was like, she said, I don't know what kind of glue you use, but you had an allergic reaction. And I felt so not only embarrassed, but I felt torn because it's like, why did I allow myself to rush and do something? And now I'm dealing with the consequences. I'm wearing hats, I'm wearing
Hmm.
wraps around my head, just feeling so like insecure. And I'm saying all this because don't rush and try to do something before you try it. Don't look at social media, rush into something, and now again, like I was saying earlier, dealing with the consequences. Just be you. I don't like to feel embarrassed. Personally, I really don't. You can ask anybody. I hate feeling embarrassed. So me walking around with this dark spot on my forehead, I was just really, I was torn apart. So guys, don't rush into something and now you're paying for it. I think that's the whole thing with social media. We're rushing to do something and now we're paying for it.
When we in our mind and we're saying, okay, I want to change this about myself, like I want to start wearing my hair this way, or I want to start wearing these types of clothes, or I want to get these Botox to lift my face. Like,
Right.
like it's okay. I always say this: do I love myself how I am right now, and am I doing this because it's going to bring me more joy, or am I doing this because I don't like the way I look and I'm not comfortable in my own skin, so I'm just going to run out here and do something quickly without giving it thought or anything? Like, I'm not saying anything's wrong with any of those things, but it's about loving yourself first and respecting the image God has put you on earth to be, because you never know. If you do it and you turn out great, then you got people 50 years down the line, they're like, oh man, I wish I never did this. Like, now my face is stuck and I look crazy. And then you got people like you who end up having allergic reactions, get deformed because you're rushing into something. You're being influenced by social media. Have a mind of discernment and have a mind of wisdom in all things. Pray to God. I know it sounds so funny, be like, let me pray to God, make sure I can wear this hairstyle the way I want to wear it. But if you're doing it because you're trying to improve yourself or your confidence feel better, pray about it, because maybe God will reveal something to you that's the root cause of that confidence not being there. It's no reason as a Black woman I should ever hear a Black woman saying, I hate my natural hair, I never want to wear my natural hair.
You better embrace that.
Embrace that natural hair, okay? For me, it was no reason in my life I could have went all through middle school, all through high school, thinking I was so small, so skinny, and now here I am, 25, trying to lose weight to get back to looking like it. Like, I was trying to rush the process when I should have enjoyed the process and loved myself in the meantime. So I think it's just very important to keep in mind that God created you and he makes no mistake. There's not a mistake God has ever made. And so you're not a mistake. So if anything, pray about it before you make a decision. And if you don't want to pray about it, just ask God to give you wisdom and discernment, that he puts things that are in front of you that okay, I can't do that, or let me censor this out of my vision because it's not for me.
Right. I agree with that because I think that sometimes we probably need to really sit and think, is this going to benefit me? And people probably say, don't over exaggerate stuff, but sometimes you probably need a fast. Like maybe do like a 3-day fast and do as much research, or maybe doing stuff on your own and not going out doing getting what somebody else got by another person that you don't know nothing about. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, really, really allow God to speak through you and reveal things to you as an individual to see if you're walking in the right path. when you're talking about your own image or your appearance and stuff. So just don't be easily led. Don't be easily influenced by what you're seeing on social media and the music today, because to be honest with you, the people that you see on social media, I guarantee you, they're real life people. They go through certain things, but social media is all a front. Like, they just want people to see that they're doing good, like their image is like perfect and stuff. But not only that, people are going through probably the same thing you're going through, but they don't want to reveal that. They don't want people seeing that, it's a tough life for them as well. So yeah, be careful, guys, like, of what you're doing, like, and I just don't want you guys to feel like you're gonna like regret stuff, because we don't want to ever feel like we're gonna regret something because we rushed, you
Yeah,
know.
and I think like we covered the social media piece, but I think I just want to like touch on the music part a little bit more because I just seen a TikTok. I'm not gonna say who it was, but if you've seen it, you know. But someone who is well known on TikTok went to the Doja Cat concert. And I'm not sure if she was like familiar with how Doja Cat now versus how she was when she first started. But she went to the concert and she documented, she said Rice concert, like she was like, okay, I need to go home and pray. And it's like Doja Cat, when she first came out, she had a few hits. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, a
Yeah.
little pop, a little two step, okay. But nowadays,
So I, like you were saying, how she was perceiving like people are liking her music and all this kind of stuff. And then one day I seen her, I don't know what she was doing, but it was like she was in this dark room, and then she was like this spider or this demon and stuff. And people were kind of like, I noticed people in the comments were kind of asking her like, what is this and all this kind of stuff. And she was pretty much saying that she's not following that. She's not trying to seem like she like worships the devil and all this kind of stuff. But you're posting that stuff. So like, what
mm-hmm.
expect people to assume if you keep on like posting this stuff? So I pretty much had to block her, because what really are you saying here?
Even though, she might try to front and say like the devil doesn't look demonic in the way she was dressing, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine, because you are correct. The devil don't look like that. The devil could look like the finest man on earth and not be
Mm-mm.
Satan. But the devil can also look like you too. And so as Christians, when we see those things, we can't just bypass and be like, oh, it's okay, I'm still gonna listen to. No, because now you're letting that get into your spirit. And while people are so focused on the physical appearance, you also got to guard your heart and think about, how is this impacting me mentally? Like I used to listen to Megan Thee Stallion because she had a beat, but I noticed, I'm like, hold on. Like, I know too many lyrics. It's getting way too serious over here. So I had to stop listening to her. And I found a trend that when these new artists come out, they're good and we like them, and they're not doing anything that's super crazy. It's just secular music. But as they get more and more into the industry, and as they get more and more
Mm-hmm.
money, it's like they flip the script, and it's like, are you really revealing your true
Yeah.
self now?
And it's funny you say that, because not only, listening to or seeing Megan Thee Stallion and all these other artists, it's like through their lyrics they're trying to say that you shouldn't do this, or you better go girl, you've been through this and that and the other, or they're trying to tell their story. But when
Mm-hmm.
you look at videos, how are we supposed to perceive that that's what you're talking about? Like with Megan Thee
Right.
Stallion, her that she just did, all the stuff that she went with her ex.
Mm-hmm.
You got a snake and you talking about this, that, and the other. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, so you went through this, but
But
what
the
are we
video
really
is not the
about here?
math is not
It's not,
mathing.
not connecting. I really tried to put two and two, and I still was confused. I was
Yes.
like,
But see,
okay,
that's
on
that
here.
discernment. That's that, like for example, like Summer Walker. Like, girl, that's my girl. Like when she first came out, you speaking to my soul, okay? But now I see you doing all this extra stuff in the
With
background. Mm. We gotta watch it a little bit.
yes, we're getting a little skeptical. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. And I don't want people to take this as we're saying like gospel is the only, but
no.
What
you
I'm
know,
saying is, if you're gonna put a little secular in it, make sure your spirit can accept the secular, and you better know all your praise notes, high and low, left and right, every clap.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can definitely agree on that. So, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I think I'm digressing.
Okay. So I hope you guys really got the gist of what we were trying to say. Really examine the things you're putting into your mind and your soul when you're trying to create your own image and trying to be the real you. Don't be easily influenced by social media. Like I said, people are probably going through the same thing you're going through, but they're putting on this big front. So yeah, so we are so glad that you guys are tuning in. We hope that you continue to tune in, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. We'll see you next time.
All righty.